Hey everyone, imagine walking down the street, reaching into your pocket for a quarter to feed the meter, and realizing you almost gave away a coin worth over $1,000,000. Yeah, one single quarter. Just 25 cents. That's like trading a winning lottery ticket for a stick of gum. Today, we're diving deep into the wild world of coin collecting to spotlight one very special coin, the 2016 Shawnee National Forest Quarter. Sounds ordinary, right? But buckle up, because this little beauty has been turning heads in the coin world with a mind-blowing market value of $1.1 million. Now before you sprint to the couch cushions, hear me out. This isn't just about luck. It's about learning to recognize value where others see loose change. And stick around till the end, because I'll share a story of the time I unknowingly spent a rare coin on a vending machine candy bar. Yep. That happened. So grab your coffee, sit back, and let's unlock the secrets behind this $1,000,000 quarter. Let's start from the beginning. The 2016 Shawnee quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters series, which ran from 2010 to 2021. Each design celebrated a national park or site across the United States. Shawnee National Forest, located in southern Illinois, got its moment in the spotlight in early 2016. Now what makes the Shawnee quarter stand out? On the reverse side, there's a striking image of Camel Rock with a soaring red-tailed hawk overhead. The detail is gorgeous and honestly, it makes you want to visit Illinois. Well, almost the obverse, like all America the Beautiful Quarters, features the familiar bust of George Washington. But the real story lies not just in the design, but in the minting and the potential for rare errors, and of course, the P mint mark means it was struck in Philadelphia. Now here's where things get juicy. How does a quarter made in 2016, that's less than a decade ago, end up being worth more than most people's houses? Let me tell you what collectors go wild for: rarity, errors, and pristine condition. The $1,000,000 2016 Shawnee quarter isn't just any pocket change. It's a rare error coin in mint state perfection. First off, the error. This particular coin has what's called a double die obverse, where the details on Washington's face and the word liberty look slightly duplicated. Think of it like a ghostly outline behind the text. It's like your coin had too much caffeine and couldn't sit still during production. Next, the coin was graded MS69 by a top-tier grading service. That means it's nearly flawless. No scratches, no nicks, nothing. That's like finding a perfectly preserved slice of pizza in a college dorm room. Unheard of. Combine that rare double die error with a nearly perfect mint state, and boom, you've got a coin that collectors are willing to throw down seven figures for. It's all about demand. Serious collectors are always on the hunt for error coins in near perfect condition. Only one or two coins like this are known to exist with this exact error and grade. And when a coin is 1 in a million, sometimes it is worth $1 million. In 2023, one such specimen went up at a high-profile private auction and sold for just over $1.1 million. The room was silent, then the gavel dropped. Boom! A piece of 25-cent change became a millionaire's treasure. It's not about how old the coin is. It's about how rare and pristine it is. You wouldn't throw away a new Rolex just because it was made last year, would you? Start by checking the front. You want the 2016 quarter with a P mint mark. That's step 1. Then, look closely at the lettering on the obverse side. That's George's side. If the word Liberty or the date looks slightly doubled or fuzzy, you may have a double die error. Use a magnifying glass or even the zoom on your phone camera. Be slow, be patient, and look for those subtle ghost-like outlines. Next, condition matters. If your quarter looks like it went through 5 vending machines and a garbage disposal, it's probably not the $1,000,000 one. You want sharp details, clean surfaces, and minimal wear. If you think you found a winner, send it in to get graded. Professional grading can cost a little, but the return? Potentially life-changing. Alright, time for a confession. A few years back, I was in line at a gas station. I had exact change for a chocolate bar and handed over a quarter that looked different. It had this bold design and a super clean shine. I even thought, this one looks cool. But I shrugged it off. Candy craving one. I tossed it on the counter and walked away munching on my Kit Kat like a happy fool. Fast forward 2 years later, I stumbled into the world of rare coins. Guess what coin popped up on a list of potentially rare and valuable coins? Yep. That Shawnee quarter. The exact one I spent. I'll never know for sure, but I'd bet good money that the gas station clerk got more than just a tip that day. Always check your change. Especially the pretty ones. Once you start hunting for these coins, you'll want to protect them like they're made of gold. Because, technically, they might be worth more per ounce. Use coin flips or plastic holders. Don't just throw them in jars. And if you think you've got a good one, don't clean it. That's like washing a Picasso with a sponge. It destroys value. Store your finds in a cool, dry place. And consider getting insurance if you've got a truly rare gem on your hands. So there you have it. The story of the 2016 Shawnee quarter. A coin that proves something simple, small, and seemingly ordinary can carry unbelievable value. We learned that what makes a coin valuable isn't just age, its uniqueness, condition, and rarity. We explored what a double die error is, why grading matters, and how one quarter with a Philadelphia mint mark turned into a millionaire's dream. And hopefully, you'll think twice before handing over a shiny quarter for a soda or snack. Start checking your coins. Seriously. Make it a habit. Turn it into a game with your kids, your spouse, your friends. You never know when $1 million mistake is sitting right in your pocket. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something new, or if you just like the idea of finding treasure without a shovel, hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like, share it with someone who might be sitting on a goldmine, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on another coin worth big bucks. Every quarter counts. Every penny might be a jackpot. Keep your eyes open, your mind sharp, and your pockets lucky. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, where we'll crack open another story of ordinary coins with extraordinary value. Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Let me hit you with a question right off the bat. What if I told you that hiding somewhere in your couch cushions, car cup holder, or old pants pocket could be a single coin worth a whopping $1.2 million? That's right, one quarter. 25 cents. And not just any quarter, we're talking about the 1998 Shawnee quarter dollar. Now, before you go flipping over your coffee table, let's talk about what makes this quarter so valuable. Because if you've got one, you might just be sitting on a jackpot. Literally. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and stay tuned because we're going deep into the story, value, and hidden secrets of one of the rarest modern quarters in the United States. Plus, I'll share a personal story that might just sound a little like yours. And by the end, you'll know exactly what to look for and how to sell it if you strike gold. Now let's clear something up from the jump. The Shawnee design most folks know today actually came out as part of the America the Beautiful series in 2016. So you might be wondering, how on earth is there a 1998 Shawnee quarter? Well, here's the twist. The 1998 Shawnee quarter isn't an officially released design. It's what collectors call a pattern coin or a test strike. In other words, it's a coin that wasn't supposed to hit the streets. Yet somehow, a small number slipped into circulation. That's what makes it so rare. The Philadelphia Mint was testing different designs and metal blends for future quarters, and among those experiments was an early concept of what would become the Shawnee National Forest design. Only a handful of those 1998 test strikes were ever made. Most were destroyed. But a few made it out into the wild, likely by accident or a bored mint worker with sticky fingers, and today, one of those surviving pieces is estimated to be worth $1.2 million. Talk about pocket change turning into life-changing money. First, rarity. Fewer than 10 are known to exist. Let me say that again. Less than 10. That's rarer than a perfect steak cooked at a fast food joint. Second, the error or test status. Because it wasn't a mass-produced coin, and because the design wasn't finalized, the coin has features that no other quarter has. Experts say it has an unusual font, a slight shift in the rim design, and even a prototype-style depiction of the Shawnee Forest area. A third, demand. Coin collectors love mystery. They love the idea that a normal-looking coin could be anything but normal. And when there are only a few in existence, the price goes sky high. Like mint state 68 or 69, and you're talking about the kind of money that buys you a house, a luxury car, or your dream vacation for life. Now don't panic and go flipping over every quarter you've got just yet. Let's talk about how to spot one. Then check the date. It should say 1998. That's already strange because the Shawnee design wasn't meant to be around back then. Then the real key is the reverse, the tail side. The Shawnee test design has a unique forest scene that looks rougher than the 2016 version. There's no polished relief, and it looks more like a sketch or a rough draft. There may even be texture inconsistencies and off-center stamping, and here's a weird twist. Some of these were reportedly found with faint doubling on the obverse, that's George Washington's side, especially on the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust. So if you've got a 1998 quarter that doesn't quite look like the others, and it's got anything resembling trees or a forest on the back, you might be holding history. Now let me tell you about my Uncle Jim. This man was the king of coin hunting. He never passed a Coinstar machine without peeking inside, and he always asked for change in coins just to inspect them later with his magnifying glass. One summer, I visited him down in Indiana. He showed me his massive coin jar. It looked like a hurricane shelter but filled with coins instead of food. He dumped the whole thing onto the table and said, "You want to learn about money, kid? Start with this." We went through that jar for hours. Found a couple silver dimes, a 1943 steel penny, and even a 2000p Sacagawea dollar with a Cheerios reverse that was worth some good money. But here's the part that kills me. He had a strange 1998 quarter. Weird texture on the back. I remember it looked like trees but wasn't the Connecticut tree. And he tossed it aside saying, "Too new to be anything." I can't stop thinking about that quarter. Could it have been the Shawnee prototype? We'll never know. But that's what keeps people hunting. If you think you've got the real deal, here's what to do. First, don't spend it. Not even on a gas station coffee. Second, take it to a professional coin dealer or grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify it, grade it, and get you the paperwork you need. Next, list it at a major coin auction house. Don't try to sell this thing on eBay unless you know what you're doing. Auctions like Heritage or Stacksbauer's attract serious buyers, the kind of people who pay over $1 million for rare quarters. And finally, be patient. The right buyer might not show up tomorrow. But when they do, you're going to be smiling all the way to the bank. While we're here, let's talk about some cousins of the 1998 Shawnee quarter. There's the 2004 Wisconsin quarter with the extra leaf, worth thousands. The 1999 Delaware with a double die. Even some modern state quarters from the 2000s with off-center strikes, missing clad layers, or rotated dies are selling for 5 or 6 figures. Every quarter deserves a second look. Especially the ones you think are too boring to matter. So there you have it. The mysterious 1998 Shawnee quarter, a ghost coin from the past, now worth $1.2 million and turning regular folks into overnight millionaires. It's rare, it's strange, and it could be sitting in your kitchen junk drawer right now. The next time you get change at the gas station or dig through your car's coin tray, don't just toss those quarters aside. Flip them over. Check the date. Look for the odd ones. Because you just never know. And hey, if you liked this video and want more tips on coins worth money, rare finds, and hidden treasures in your pocket change, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you don't miss the next time I break down $1 million coin you never knew existed, and if you've got a coin story of your own, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. You're at the gas station. You buy a soda, maybe a bag of chips, and the cashier hands you some change. You shove it in your pocket and forget all about it. Later, you dump the coins on your nightstand or toss them in a jar, never thinking twice. But what if I told you, one of those coins could be worth over $1.3 million? Today, we're diving deep into one of the most jaw-dropping finds in U.S. coin history, the 1982 Washington quarter. This ordinary-looking little coin, minted in Philadelphia, has been known to fetch $1.3 million on the open market. That's not pocket change, that's retire on the beach in Florida money. So how does a quarter that was worth just 25 cents in 1982 skyrocket in value to $1 million and beyond? What makes it so special? And how can you spot one in your collection or maybe even your junk drawer? Grab a coffee, maybe a magnifying glass, and let's roll into the world of treasure hiding in plain sight. Let's roll the clock back to 1982. Reagan was president. Gas was cheap. E.T. was in theaters. And the U.S. Mint? They were making quarters like their lives depended on it. 1982 was one of the first years where the mint stopped making uncirculated mint sets for collectors. That's right. No collector-grade sets to stash away pristine quarters. Which means most 1982 quarters were just dumped into circulation and spent like crazy. The Philadelphia Mint didn't put a mint mark on these babies. That little P wasn't even a thing on quarters until that very year. So technically, the 1982p was the first Philly quarter with a P on it. Kind of a big deal for collectors due to budget cuts and cost-saving efforts in the early 80s. The mint was working with worn-out dies and weaker planchets. The result? Tons of 1982 quarters came out looking, well, rough. Weak strikes, misaligned dies, off-center errors, doubling, you name it, and that, my friends, is where the money comes in. And now, not every 1982p quarter is worth $1 million. If that were true, we'd all be driving Ferraris by now. And I'm talking next-level rare. We're talking about a high-grade, mint-condition coin with specific error characteristics that send collectors into bidding wars. Most 1982p quarters were weakly struck. So if you find one with bold details, especially in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers on the back, that's your first clue. That's collector speak for a coin where the front shows signs of doubling, usually noticeable in the word Liberty or the date 1982. It's a rare error and adds major value. Condition is king in the coin world. A 1982p quarter in MS68 or higher grade, that's mint state 68 on the Sheldon scale, is almost impossible to find. That's where the big bucks kick in. Only a handful of examples have ever been found that clean. Keep an eye out for off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks. Any unusual error on a 1982p quarter can bump the price way up. You've got a coin that collectors will shell out over $1 million for. Let's call him Dave, is one of those guys who refuses to use debit cards. Cash only. Change jingling in his pocket like it's 1975. One day, he's going through a pile of coins in his glove compartment, looking for quarters for a car wash. He calls me and says, "You still into coins? I got one that says 1982 and it's got a P on it. Looks kinda sharp too." I swing by, take a look, and my heart skips. It wasn't the $1 million coin, but it was damn close, a beautiful MS65 with minor doubling. He eventually sold it for a little over $2,000. Now, I know that's not $1.3 million, but imagine this, a coin he almost used to rinse off bird poop ended up paying for a family vacation. Always check your change, especially if it's from the 80s. Let's talk numbers for a second, because I know some of you are already pulling out your coin jars. Here's what 1982p Washington quarters are currently going for, depending on condition. Circulated coins with average wear? About 50 cents to $1. Nothing special, sorry. Uncirculated coins, MS60, MS63? You might get $20 to $50. High-grade coins, MS65, MS67? Now we're in the hundreds to low thousands. MS68 and above with errors? That's where the auction houses come in. One MS68 with sharp strike and DDO sold for over $1.3 million, making it one of the most valuable modern quarters ever discovered. And let me tell you, the demand for high-grade modern error coins is only going up. More collectors are joining the hunt every day. The 1982p Washington quarter might seem like just another coin. But under the right conditions, with the right strike, a little doubling, and pristine surface, it can become $1 million masterpiece. The truth is, treasure isn't always buried. Sometimes it's right in your pocket. Check your change. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. Get yourself a good magnifying glass and start learning what to look for. Don't assume any old coin is worthless until you've really taken a good look. That one dusty quarter you nearly gave to the vending machine, that might just be the one that changes your life. If you found this video helpful, fun, or maybe even a little inspiring, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're always dropping tips on how to spot valuable coins, how to sell them smart, and how to turn your hobby into a serious income stream. Hit the like button, share this with your coin hunting friends, and drop a comment if you think you've got a 1982p quarter worth a fortune. I'd love to hear your story. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters and curious coin lovers. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at the change in your pocket? I mean, really looked at it. Because if you've got a 1966 Washington quarter with no mint mark lying around, you could be holding onto a small fortune, one worth up to $1.4 million. That's right. One simple coin. One ordinary looking quarter. 1 year, 1966. No mint mark. And boom, it could be your ticket to a luxury vacation, a new house, or hey, maybe just retiring early and living your best life on a beach somewhere with a margarita in one hand and that lucky quarter framed on your wall. Today we're diving into the unbelievable world of the 1966 no mint mark Washington quarter. We're going to break down why it's worth so much, how to identify the $1,000,000 versions, and I'll even tell you a story about the time I almost spent a coin that could have paid for a sports car. Yeah, I'm still not over it, so if you're ready to learn how to turn pocket change into life change, sit back, grab your coins, and let's dig into the real value of that seemingly boring 1966 quarter, alright? So let's get something straight first. The 1966 Washington quarter doesn't look too special at first glance. It's got George Washington's face on the front, the American eagle on the back, and no mint mark anywhere. Sounds like every other quarter, right? But here's the thing. 1966 was a weird time for coin production. The US Mint had just gone through a major transition. You know why? Because in 1965, they removed all silver from quarters due to rising silver prices. So that means by 1966, they were using a copper-nickel clad composition. That change affected everything from the coin's weight to how it aged over time, and to make it more mysterious, from 1965 to 1967, the mint intentionally left off mint marks to discourage hoarding. So all quarters from those years don't have mint marks. Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, it didn't matter. No marks. Which makes things interesting when it comes to identifying where these coins were actually struck and how rare certain versions are. And now, let's get to the $1,000,000 question. Literally, there are a few ultra-rare versions of the 1966 quarter that got struck on silver planchets. That's right, some slipped through the cracks and got made using the old silver blanks, the same ones used before 1965. These are called transitional errors, and they're like the unicorns of coin collecting. If your quarter is one of those, you're sitting on a gold mine, or technically, a silver mine worth over $1,000,000, and that's not all. Some 1966 quarters also have striking errors like off-center strikes, double dies, or even rare high-grade specimens with perfect surfaces that make collectors drool. We're talking about quarters that have been graded MS67 or higher, meaning they're in absolutely pristine condition. Now combine that condition with a rare error or transitional silver strike and bam, that's how you get the $1,000,000 baby. You first flip that coin under a bright light and look closely at the edges. If it looks silver and you can't see the copper sandwich line on the rim, that's a strong clue it might be struck on a silver planchet. Next, weigh it. A regular 1966 clad quarter should weigh around 5.67 grams. But a silver quarter? That'll tip the scale at about 6.25 grams. That small difference can mean a massive payday. Also, look out for doubling letters or numbers that appear to have a shadow or second image. Especially on the date, the word liberty, or the phrase, "In God we trust." That's called a double die error, and it's another huge moneymaker. Lastly, inspect the coin's surface. Does it look unusually clean? No scratches? Sharp details? You might be holding a high-grade specimen. Those can fetch tens of thousands even without errors. Alright, time for a little personal story. A few years ago, I was going through my old coin jar, you know, the one that lives in your closet for 10 years, collecting dust and pennies from the 80s. I picked up a bunch of quarters and was about to cash them in for laundry money. But one 1966 quarter caught my eye. It looked different. No orange edge. It felt heavier. Almost shinier too. I thought, I'm probably imagining things. I tossed it in the Coinstar machine. So I looked it up. And guess what I learned? That exact kind of quarter, no copper edge, silver weight, sharp design, could be worth over $1,000,000. Because I was broke and impatient and thought maybe the machine just didn't like old coins. To this day, I have no idea what that coin was. But let me tell you, I've checked every quarter since like I'm Indiana Jones searching for the Holy Grail. A rare 1966 silver transitional error quarter graded MS67 by a major grading company like PCGS or NGC has sold for as high as $1.4 million in private auctions. Other rare varieties in near perfect condition, even without silver content, can fetch tens of thousands, some even hitting six figures, and that's not just hype. Coin collectors, especially high-end ones, are constantly on the lookout for these rarities to complete their collections. So if you've got one, you're not just sitting on metal, you're holding an appreciating asset. Well, wealthy collectors, coin investors, history buffs, and even museums. There's an entire world of coin auctions happening online and in person where your quarter could be the star of the show. That 1966 no mint mark Washington quarter might look boring. It might look like the kind of thing you'd toss in a parking meter or soda machine without thinking twice. But if it's one of the rare few struck on silver, with errors, in pristine condition, you might just be holding a life-changing chunk of American history. The truth is, we often overlook the small stuff in life. But sometimes the small stuff is where the magic is. And in this case, that small stuff might just be worth $1.40 million. Go check your change jar, your sock drawer, your glove compartment. Dig out those old rolls of coins you forgot about. Because who knows? You might be the next lucky person to strike gold with a 1966 quarter. If you found this video helpful, funny, or even slightly eye-opening, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video about coins that could make you rich. We've got more secrets coming. More coin tips. More million-dollar discoveries. And plenty more laughs along the way. Or your spare change might just be your secret savings account. Now, before you toss another quarter into the vending machine for a flat soda or a stale candy bar, take a good hard look at it, because one of those quarters could be worth more than your car, maybe even your house. You heard that right, I am talking about the 1776 to 1976 Washington quarter, the one with the D mint mark from Denver. That little bicentennial beauty? Yeah, it's worth up to $1.5 million. Not monopoly money, real money, the kind that turns couch cushions into gold mines. So grab that old change jar, dust off Grandpa's coin collection, and stick around, because by the end of this video you're gonna know exactly what to look for, how to spot $1 million coin, and maybe even how I almost accidentally gave one away for $1 at a garage sale. True story. Let's roll into the riches. Back in 1976, America threw a massive birthday party. 200 years of freedom, liberty, and eating too many hot dogs on July 4th. To celebrate, the U.S. Mint decided to spice things up and released special bicentennial coins, including the $quarter, but instead of George Washington hanging out with just the usual eagle on the back, they swapped it for a Colonial drummer boy. That drummer looks like he's about to drop the most patriotic beat of the century. And that's where the magic starts. The 1776 to 1976 quarter was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but today we're zeroing in on the Denver Mint. That little D mark under Washington's ponytail, yeah, that's our gold ticket. Now here's the juicy part. Not every bicentennial quarter is a jackpot. Most of them are worth exactly 25 cents. Some might get you $1 or $2 if they're shiny and pristine. But there's a rare error, a microscopic mistake, that turns some of these quarters into treasure. So what makes the $1 million version so special? It's all about a minting error plus a rare high-grade strike on a silver-clad planchet. That means instead of being your everyday copper-nickel sandwich, this baby was accidentally made with a special silver mix intended for collector sets. Add a crisp strike, possibly a double die error, and boom, you've got a unicorn. There's also a rumor in coin collecting circles that a small batch of these quarters were accidentally released into circulation in Denver. That's the one we're hunting. That's the one that brought $1.5 million at auction. Insane, right? Now let's talk real life. You got some quarters? Go grab 'em, I'll wait. Seriously, pause this video and go dig around in your car, your junk drawer, your jeans from 2006. Okay, got 'em? Good. First, check the date. You want 1776 to 1976 on the front. That's the easy part. Next, look under the bust of Washington. Is there a D mint mark? Boom, that's Denver. You're still in the game. Now the tough part. Examine the edge of the coin. If it looks like a sandwich of metals, copper inside, silver outside, that's normal. But if it looks like solid silver all the way around, you might have a silver planchet. Then get a magnifying glass or zoom with your phone and look for signs of a double die. That's where some letters or numbers might look like they're stamped twice, slightly off. Especially check in God we trust in liberty. Finally, you need a coin that's in nearly perfect shape. We're talking mint state. No scratches, dents, or signs it was ever used to pry open a paint can. Alright, story time, because I still wake up sweating about this. Years ago, I helped my uncle clean out his garage. He had jars of coins everywhere. I tossed a bunch of them into a plastic container, slapped a $5 sticker on it, and boom, sold it to some guy named Randy in a pickup truck. Later that night, my uncle told me one of the jars had a rare quarter. A 1776 to 1976 D mint with silver luster and a double die strike. He'd bought it at a collector's show in the 80s and forgot about it. My heart sank. I'm not saying that Randy is a millionaire now, but let's just say if you're out there, buddy, call me. I've got questions. Step 1, take clear photos of both sides of the coin. Step 2, do not clean the coin. No soap, no vinegar, no rubbing toothpaste on it like your cousin Todd suggested. That'll ruin it. Step 3, find a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. You mail it and they examine it and grade its condition. If it's confirmed to be a silver planchet Denver minted double die coin in mint state, then congratulations. You now own a piece of American history worth more than most sports cars, or from there you can put it up at auction or sell it privately. Just make sure you don't undersell it. There are collectors out there who would happily pay $1.5 million for that coin. With big money comes big fakes. The internet is full of so-called bicentennial quarters claiming to be worth a fortune, but most are either replicas or common coins. If you're buying coins online, check for certified grading. Make sure they come in sealed holders with barcodes and authentication. If someone says they'll sell you a $1.5 million coin for $200, chances are they're selling you disappointment in a Ziploc bag. Here's the deal: even if you don't find the quarter, it's worth looking. Why? Because coin collecting is one of the few hobbies that literally pays you back. Lincoln cents from 1955 with double die nickels from 1942 with silver content, state quarters with off-center strikes, half dollars with missing mint marks. Every coin has a story and some of them come with a paycheck. If you're serious about getting into it, grab a coin book or even better, a coin microscope. Join online forums. Talk to other collectors. You'll be amazed what's hiding in plain sight. The 1776 to 1976 D-mint Washington quarter is more than a coin. It's a time capsule from America's 200th birthday. It's also a shining example of how mistakes at the mint can turn ordinary into extraordinary. With a little patience, a keen eye, and maybe a sprinkle of good luck, you could stumble across one of these million-dollar treasures. Imagine turning a quarter you found in your glove box into a full-on life changer. So here's the deal: start checking your change, start asking grandma about her old jars of coins, and for the love of all things shiny, do not sell a jar of coins at a garage sale unless you've looked through it first. If you enjoyed this video and you're hungry for more coin tips, tricks, and crazy success stories, hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and turn on the bell so you never miss a chance to find treasure hiding in your pockets. Drop a comment below if you think you've got a rare quarter, or just tell me your best coin find ever. I read all the comments, and who knows, maybe we'll feature your story in the next video.